We enjoy being here, and I am Dork Mistress.
I'm Marie.
And we are here for, I'm not sure what game number it is, but it is definitely Bristol Roller Derby versus Cambridge Roller Billies. This is the semi-final for Tier 2. This is semi-final 2. So the winner of this will go into the Tier 2 final on Sunday at 2 p.m. and they fight for promotion to Tier 1. And the loser goes into the bronze medal game, which is on Sunday at 1:30. Do you want to run us through the roster for Cambridge?
I will indeed. Let me introduce you to your Cambridge Roller Billies. 1-5 Fiesta, 1-6-1 Femme Fatale, 1-9 Tsunami, 1-9-5-3 Primal Queer, 1-9-6-2 Jam Stoker, 3-6 Frenchie, 4 Whole Lot of Trouble, 5-0 The Law, 5-3 Nat Outta Hell, 6-9 FEB, 7 Smash Hits, 7-4 Molotov Cocktail, 8-0-0 Baby Jesus, 8-2-3-8 Headers, and number 9 Fowler. They are your Cambridge Roller Billies.
And Bristol Roller Derby's A team is playing in blue, and we have 007 Aphrodite for Destruction, 100 Insane Bolt, 12 Tilly Latimer, 14 Lex Lethal, 22 Skelly, 27 Sid Vicious, 4 Divine Wrath, 462 Chip, 501 Annie Mayhem, 55 Whoop, 808 Brizzy, 88 Livewire, and 999 Blackthorn. Bristol, according to Flat Track Stats, you know, on paper going to take the win, and by quite a convincing amount. They reckon that there's 85% chance of Bristol winning. And they were in Tier 1 in 2024, so they've come down to Tier 2 and going to want to be back up in Tier 1. But Cambridge, promoted only last year from Tier 3, already at playoffs for Tier 2. So definitely a strong team.
Absolutely, and people do bring it for playoffs, as we just saw. If you didn't catch the first game on track 2 this morning, it was a tasty tight one between Rebellion and Wiltshire. So anything can happen. People can raise their game on the day, and playoffs has a tendency to bring this out to some of the best skaters. The pressure is what makes diamonds, eh?
I'm really looking forward to this game because I think they are two very strong teams, and they are, as you say, they both have something to prove in this game. They're both going to want to win, and they play at very different sides of the country, so they play different teams. So this is the first time we've seen them, you know, sort of match up.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to view their styles against each other. Is there a style from the southwest versus the southeast, I guess, you know?
When you look at Bristol, they traditionally play teams, you know, that have been Leeds or Newcastle or Tiger Bay. So actually, I think it will be quite different. But we're going to get underway.
Absolutely. So we see everybody out on track there. We've got Aphrodite for Destruction wearing the blue, looking to line up first for Bristol. And you've got 1962 Jam Stoker out there wearing the white for the Roller Billies. You've got a bunch of very excited referees. They are positively jiggling with excitement here in Stoke.
It's nice to know that they've got the energy, because I think they're going to need all of it.
And we are off. There is no messing about. Jam Stoker straight into the thick of things. But it is Aphrodite for Destruction who picks up lead just off screen in the blue for Bristol.
The outside line was not defended well enough by the Roller Billies, allowing that lead jammer for Aphrodite.
And hit and quit straight away. Textbook, protect yourself, out the door.
But picking up the 4 points. Cambridge sneaking one there. So that's 4-1 on this first jam. But it is that psychological importance of first lead jammer, first points.
I mean, we say that. USA Roller Derby has a tendency to give the first 3 jams away, make everybody think we're on for a game, and then anything can happen for those of you who do follow the global Roller Derby. We're just going to hold fire here. Now hold fire. We're just going to sort ourselves out. We've got that first jam out of the way. Now we can sort everything else out. Don't forget, we have a community Discord. So if you'd like to join that, please go and find us on Instagram or Facebook, and you can follow the link from there to come and tell us what you think of the game.
Or even search Discord, 5 Nations Roller Derby Playoffs.
I knew you could do that. I totally knew you could do that, Doc. The elder millennial in me is not struggling with Discord at all. Right.
Well, I'm Gen X and I manage
show off. Here we go. Talking of show offs, let's see who we've got out here for you now. It is 3-6 Frenchie jamming for the Rollerbillies in white, going up against, I believe that's 808. No, 88. It's Live Wire. All the action up. We've got Rollerbillies in the lead, but that is Live Wire who is living up to their name.
Interestingly, Bristol were trying to speed the pack up. Divine Wrath and the other blockers trying to speed up, but Cambridge weren't having any of it.
And what happens when you speed the pack up? The bodies start falling as we come to the conclusion of that jam.
But it's an interesting tactic, and Bristol are a very fast team, so it'll be interesting to see if they keep doing that.
I mean, this is not your first rodeo with me. You know I think that running away is a very valid tactic, and I am here for it.
I'm all about solid defense. Give me some solid walls. That's what I'm here for.
I have learned to run away. Them Fatale on the line for the Rollerbillies, going up against Tilly Latimer for Bristol. Tilly Latimer making incredibly short work of that, as Them Fatale is having a bit of a time of things here, because Bristol blockers doing what Bristol blockers do.
Interestingly, Cambridge blockers weren't entirely sure what to do until, do we do offense or defense, and eventually went into defense.
So we see this lovely split here. Deploy the tripod, send off the pivot to do some O, and Tilly Latimer is through and picking up 4 points for Bristol. Oh, sneaky star passes happening maybe.
Attempted star pass, but didn't quite complete, and still has the star in their hand.
Bit of a distraction. Tilly Latimer there, just like a footballer. Honest ref, I never did nothing. I was just coming through here. Stealth mode does work, but you've dropped your hat. You're going to need that.
And also picked up, I believe, a forearms penalty. Oh, no, that wasn't...
We got away with the forearms, but Bristol did not let them get away with the drop of the hat. Tilly Latimer having a right time of things here as Cambridge have managed to catch and contain. This is lovely blocking work as we see Tilly Latimer fully engaged in the sad place. Tries to pivot out of it and re-attack those links. Great work from the blockers there to get their arms out of the way, not giving away that multiplayer. Beautiful stuff. This time, it's like you're from the future. It's like you're from the future, Doc. We knew that forearm was coming at some point. But Tilly Latimer had already caught the jam, but it didn't end. So I'm very they'll clear it all up for us any second now.
Yeah. But yes, it definitely seemed like it took half of that jam for the Cambridge wall to wake up. But then they were really effective in holding back to Latimer.
Yeah, good catch and contain. It's always a satisfying moment when you can do that. But we're seeing the offense from Bristol being played as well, which is, as a jammer, something you always love to see coming to your aid. So here we go, no messing about. We are straight back in it with a power jam start for Bristol. That is number 462, Chip out jamming, as we see the Billies lose a blocker to the box. So Bristol with lead and control of this jam, Doc.
With only 2 blockers on the track, you're going to have control. And they've done a perfect job of splitting the 2 blockers up.
Rollerbillies putting their bodies on the line, whole lot of trouble, literally launching themselves across the track, but unable to make an impact, as we see Chip return for a click and collect, as I like to call it.
The lateral speed of the Bristol blockers was how they were able to keep the Cambridge jammer back, even though there were all people around them. It was just literally one-on-one.
I have to say, you keep seeing Bristol not being together, but that doesn't seem to bother them at all.
No, this is the point. They don't need to be in a wall. They can actually do real zonal blocking because they have that speed across the track.
Chip trying to get all their jamming points in one jam here by the seams of things. Opening quite the account here on the points balance. 12 in the bag already. There'll be a few more in the pocket. But look at this work from Chip. It's almost slow and steady. Just keep moving, just keep pushing. Lovely step through the middle there. Real power in the legs to drive into that. And look at that offense.
And that was well-timed, well-positioned offence, but it was right at the end of the jam. So didn't stop Bristol from scoring 16 points, taking them to 26. Cambridge now on 2 points. And we've had the first 5 minutes of this game. That's a very clear message from Bristol.
That is declarative, to say the least, unanswered by Cambridge here. So you are going to see Aphrodite for destruction back out, and it looks like a power jam start for Bristol again, which doesn't feel like the kind of thing Roller Billies want to be giving up just right now. They are also a blocker down, the Roller Billies are, so we see Aphrodite engaged, doesn't need the offence, saves themselves for the jammer who has re-entered.
And just great pack management by Bristol, forcing Cambridge out of play and had to release Aphrodite.
So we're going to have the star stash here as Aphrodite re-engages and makes really short work of the Cambridge walls. I don't think splitting up is particularly working for them. We do now have the star pass, so that has gone across to 800. Baby Jesus is now your jammer of record for the Roller Billies, as we see Primal Queer in there mixing it up, trying to get back at the front to support Fowler. They can't stop Aphrodite, who skips on round.
And I think that they had the chance to get Aphrodite out onto the inside right at the end, but kind of gave up. I was just like, one more nudge and
all the way to the line.
All the way to the line.
That's why we make you do those drills.
But that's 8 points for Bristol, taking them to 34.
Welcome to Armchair Coaching with Ricks. We got Livewire wearing the blue for Bristol going up against Jam Stoker. So we are starting to see some of the rotation come through here now. Everybody wants the inside line. But oh, what a move by Livewire to see that space on the outside steamed on through. And he's going to be reappearing on your screen any second now. There you go. Cambridge.
Yeah.
Cambridge. That was like me on the M1 when they open up the hard shoulder. I was straight up the inside.
And I think we've seen this a couple of times that the Cambridge blockers haven't known what to do.
No, and they're not getting that star pass quick enough, are they? The points are racking up here for Bristol. 82. 8 put on in that jam. 2 for Cambridge, picked up very early in the game. And Bristol are currently sitting on 42.
And I think there is still a chance for Cambridge to focus and really focus their walls on what the job is that second.
I think the unknown nature of each team to each other is it's who can settle in quickest to that. And Frenchie does what Frenchie does very regularly at playoffs, picks up lead. And this feels a little bit more like the Roller Billies that we know and love. But that looks to me like Frenchie is possibly going in the other direction, probably towards the penalty box. So power jam in favour of Tilly Latimer here. And you see this offence come piling in, but actually they're just going to manage the pack, as you said, Thorpe.
And I think the other thing to note is that Cambridge have been in and out of the penalty box to a far higher extent to Bristol. You can look at this now. So, and that is also providing some of the story of this game. I mean, smash hits, this is the third penalty for smash hits, and we've only had 9 minutes.
Those nerves sometimes do unsettle us as we settle into games, and we're already 10 minutes in, so you are at 5 more minutes of settling down before we expect you to be all sorted.
But I think what Bristol are doing really well is they've settled in now, and they are taking every advantage, because I think Cambridge have had lead twice, and I think have had jammers in the box twice, and that's when Bristol have been racking up these large passes.
I think we're having a team timeout for Cambridge Roller Billies here.
Not a surprise.
No.
You think that the conversation we've just been having, which is all about, they need to settle in, they need to focus, they need to re-strategize. So actually, this is the time to be doing a timeout. This is the fifth. That last jam was the 5th jam in the row that Cambridge haven't scored anything. So Bristol are very successful at shutting them out. But this is all small tweaks that can turn the game around.
Absolutely, and as we've already seen today, the smallest of errors can cost you. So it'd be really interesting, like I said, to see Cambridge, what can they do? Because Bristol have managed to settle into their game. It doesn't look to me like they waited to see what Cambridge were going to do. They came with their game plan and they are playing their game. And right now, the Rollerbillies are trying to work out how to respond, because it doesn't look like they're going to be able to impose their game on Bristol. So really interesting to see what the benches do now. We've obviously established a little bit of a rotation. Will that now change? And we see our highest scoring jammer so far in this game, Chip, out for a stroll.
And I know we always like talking about the jammers and they do the showing stuff, but for me, what will turn this game around is the blocking. If Cambridge blockers can work out what they should be doing and come together and be focused, and when they have done that, they've been really effective at holding back the Bristol jammers. So we're in an official timeout. So that's what I'm looking for now.
Everybody was very ready to go there.
Yeah.
Almost crestfallen. Don't hold me back. But don't forget, we have so much roller derby here for you at the Five Nations playoffs this weekend. 8 games today, 8 games tomorrow across the 2 tracks. Make sure you're tuning in. Join us, as we said, on the Discord. Come and like us and love us on Facebook or Instagram. We want to hear from you.
And as we said, you know, there is a lot to play for in this game. The winner of this goes into the final for promotion to Tier 1. I remember in 2023, Bristol were in Tier 1. And, you know, to see them here in Tier 2, it's not a surprise they're playing for promotion. I'm sure they want to get back up in there.
Definitely. There's a little bit the story we had with Newcastle last year, I think it was.
Yeah,
yes.
Same thing.
Very similar.
But it is healthy to say that just once you get there, you don't stay there. You have to earn your place.
Yep, you've got to keep it going. So we are going to see Chip for Bristol going up against 5-3 Nat out of hell. So this is a new jammer being introduced for Rollerbillies here. Will it make a difference? There was a big reset at the beginning, and it is lead with Chip. And Chip did some serious points damage earlier. So, but Cambridge, really good work from Nat out of hell to get out. Can they keep Bristol to 1 scoring pass? That would be fantastic. Are they going to run it? They are going to try. And then the call comes in. Oh, little falling over.
And again, and we've seen this a number of times. Whoop from Bristol was doing the hit on the Cambridge jammer. Didn't hit to the line.
Yeah.
And you do not have to give a jammer more than a couple of centimetres and they'll stay on track. They'll just brush it off.
It is just that width of with a toe stop, really, isn't it? That's all those cheeky so-and-sos need.
So 1 point, though, for Cambridge, but also 1 point for Bristol. So 51 points now, playing 3. And we have 10 minutes gone in this game.
That has broken their scoreless streak, so maybe this is the moment that they were looking for. Jam Stoker is going up against Aphrodite. Aphrodite powering on through to pick up lead yet again. 100% record for Aphrodite so far.
And again, it's because Bristol don't need to be together to be effective blockers, that they can just break up the Cambridge wall, let Aphrodite through, and also hold back the Cambridge jammer, all in one go.
Jam Stoker did really well to throw themselves through. This is a power jam in favour of the Rollerbillies, as Aphrodite has gone to the box for a forearm. So now we see this opportunity here for Cambridge to come in and play some offence. There are all sorts of whistles going. People are getting sent to the penalty box. It is Bristol this time.
And this is the first jammer penalty for Bristol, so an important opportunity for Cambridge.
And as you say, Aphrodite is back out, but Jam Stoker has come through, completed the pass. So this is a great turn up for Rollerbillies.
That was wonderful by Fowler. Freed up the space on the inside for their own jammer, but also held back Aphrodite.
Yeah. Oh, lovely work from Jam Stoker, just sliding those shoulders through. Bristol, there you see, driving to the line. You toes up to the line, you bum all the way over it. Take that jammer out. Oh, the jammer's having a little cuddle as they all come together. Aphrodite looking for room on the outside. Primal Queer unable to stop the progress.
Cambridge just a fraction too late with that block to the outside, which allowed Aphrodite through.
Aphrodite is quick. So we see Jam Stoker calling it as Aphrodite was in.
And I think Aphrodite's speed is so crucial because Cambridge are just not quite ready when she returns to the pack.
They need a Red Bull. They need a Riggs Red Bull. I'll deliver them a crate at half-time, see if that helps. That was 7 picked up by Bristol, 12 on the board to Cambridge, takes us to 15 to Cambridge, 58 to Bristol.
That's I believe, the first jam where Cambridge have got more points.
That's the first multiple passes for,
Yeah.
and we're getting a nod. We're getting a nod from our wonderful producer, Alex is on fire, who is keeping us all aligned with our stats today. But right now, what you need to know about is that Livewire is out there and doing a marvellous job up against Frenchie. I don't know who is the lead. I will wait to see if somebody's getting pointed at. It is Frenchie who has lead, and Tilly Latter. No, sorry, Livewire was desperately trying to get into the back of the pack and sneak some points, but Frenchie was watching.
But the challenge when you are in that situation is that you end up you've got lead, which is not something you've been succeeding at in this game, but you have to call it off without getting the points.
But you have staunched some bleeding.
Yes.
The patient might make it to the second half.
But we've seen Cambridge pick up lead more in the last 5 minutes than we have in the first 10 minutes of the game.
That team timeout was an excellent moment. So Tilly Latimer going up against Nat out of hell. So this is some good work here. Fowler desperately trying to help Nat out of hell out. Go in stealth mode. This is great work from both sets of blockers. But here we go, and that does look like lead picked up by Bristol. So we have the opposite this time round. Cambridge have the head start in the race, but Bristol had the control. So it's bagels for everyone. It's like we're at the US Open again.
Second jam in a row.
Bagels are all round.
The challenge is, if you're behind, this is eating up time.
Yeah.
It's eating up the time. You've got to try and change it round and gain some momentum and close that gap down. I mean, yes, the gap's not getting any bigger, but you want it to start getting smaller.
Yeah, now you've stopped your bleeding, but now you need to cause some more from your opposition. Well, you need a haymaker from the Roller Billies to shake this first half up as we see Jam Stoker versus Chip. Great work. Depleted pack there for Cambridge, really making life quite easy for Chip. Oh, what a hit.
But that was Divine Wrath, but because Divine Wrath also went off to the inside, there was no need to recycle.
We love those moments. Great Derby intelligence from the jammer there. Love that. Love that for them.
Yes.
Play smart. That's what it's all about. So your scores on the board. 4 points picked up there by Bristol. Takes them at 262. Cambridge being held at 15 right now.
And we have 14 minutes and a bit left on the clock for this half. So we're halfway through the first half.
Half of the half of so many games today. We'll keep you company all day. Frenchie going up against Aphrodite.
And it was interesting watching at the front line the Bristol blocker looking to engage right from the whistle.
We do see some penalties being picked up as Frenchie tries to re-engage Bristol with control with Aphrodite. Oh, lovely turn there from Aphrodite, just a pivot there, but can't find any room on the outside. Oh, somehow does. Honestly, even the blocker thought they'd closed the gate, but Aphrodite for Destruction gets on through.
But that was Blackthorn and Sid Vicious with an incredible surge to the outside. So Aphrodite had 9/10 of the track free to go to be released.
And yet still somehow got through. There we are, nice and easy work on that scoring pass. So Bristol back in control, doing what they do. We see the star pass here now. Frenchie passes that off.
And interestingly, if you watch the Bristol bench, they were saying call it off, but Aphrodite went through, got another scoring pass, and then called it off.
Now, normally, I'd be all for jammers making their own decisions, but that's not necessarily worked out all that well today. So sometimes you should listen to your bench. I don't know. I mean, it depends what kind of jammer you are. Are you an obedient jammer? Are you a rebellious jammer?
Well, Aphrodite called it right.
It's all right as long as you get the points, I suppose, isn't it?
And there were 9 points for Bristol in that last jam, taking them to 71. Cambridge on 15.
So we are going to see Jam Stoker going up against Livewire. This is a great little battle, but Livewire is another speedy jammer, just like Aphrodite for Destruction. But look at Jam Stoker. They are getting the hang of these Bristol walls now, and we are seeing a much quicker release. But look at that jump to the outside. Great work by the Roller Billies. Did they steal any? That's the question. Oh, we're seeing the fingers. Wow, look at that.
One each. And again, you feel for Cambridge because, you know, they are closing the game down in terms of not letting Bristol run away, but they're not able to close the gap any.
That opening 5 minutes salvo from Bristol has set them up beautifully into this game, and Cambridge are responding as best they can, but it is a lot of damage to undo. So you'll see Tilly Latimer versus Nat Out of Hell, both choosing different sides of the track, and it is the inside line that proves fruitful for Nat Out of Hell, who does keep going. Picks up lead for the Roller Billies. This is the first time we've seen Tilly Latimer held, I believe. And
at least on initial pass.
Yeah.
But again, you see, had to let Tilly Latimer through because they were pushed out in front. Pack management from Bristol forcing that.
Bristol get 4 points and call it, and they win a jam. Clean
Cambridge.
and clear. Hey?
Cambridge.
Cambridge. Who did I say?
Bristol.
I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. My apologies, people.
But no, that is the first jam, I think, since the first jam that we've seen this happen.
Yes, I believe you are correct.
I'm looking at our wonderful producer, Alexis on fire.
So it's Chip who is going out there right now to jam in the blue for Bristol, up against Frenchie for the Roller Billies in the white. It is 20 plays 7-2. One on the outside, one on the inside. Both go to the outside now. Frenchie up front. Oh, gets driven out on the inside of turn 1 as we see Chip making progress around the outside, really attacking that tripod there.
But Cambridge being pushed out the front by Bristol again, and I think that's the other thing that's consistent, is that the Bristol Jammers are able to push Cambridge out front, and so then they get forced out of play, and the Jammer is released.
So Frenchie shown to the infield, still on the initial, as we see Chip coming through now, trying to pick up points. Does get the big recycle. Everybody is right here in the exit of turn 2. It is quite the melee. The blockers have decided they've had enough of these jammers running rampant. But look at Frenchie, spots that gap, took advantage of the calm and then accelerated away. You can't put your head there.
But you can call the jam.
You can.
And again, I think, you know, we've seen this consistently. Bristol will, in the pack, will not stick together because they don't need to, on the whole. That last block by Divine Ross didn't quite block to the line, so they were able to sneak through. But that means they can mess up that Cambridge wall.
Yeah.
It's a blocking thing of beauty.
Yeah,
to be able to watch.
When they can all operate individually and as one, it is a beautiful thing. So Aphrodite versus Jam Stoker. This is a matchup we have seen a number of times, and Aphrodite has been winning this most of the time. Poor Jam Stoker there was being treated like a pendulum. Meanwhile, in the background, Aphrodite for Destruction has picked up lead. Will be reappearing on your picture any moment now, as we see. Look at this, Bristol hemorrhaging blockers. Jam Stoker gets through. It's a forearms and...
Oh, and Bristol now with just one blocker left on track. Not able to help Aphrodite. Jam comes to an end.
Where on earth has all of the Bristol discipline gone? A forearm, an illegal contact, and I believe a direction.
And when you think that so far they have only scored 6 penalties total so far this game, and they've now got 2 in the penalty box. 3, that shows you the difference that one jam has made. Cambridge much more in the penalty box because they've got something like 13-14 penalties already.
So we're just taking a moment here while we sort things out.
And actually both teams have got 2 blockers in the box, so we are starting with tiny little pack.
2 on 2. Let's go for this. So it is 8-20 on the board for Cambridge. Bristol picked up 4 in that last jam, taking them to 80. And there's a lovely shot of us here at the sports hall here at Fenton Manor Sports Complex in the glamorous and actually quite sunny state.
I'm waving.
You can see us. We're up here. This is our balcony of judgment where we live. We like to look down upon the roller derby from here to bring you all the action. Don't forget, get on Discord, get involved, tell us what you think, tell us if we're pronouncing things wrong, all that good stuff. We love your feedback. Back to the action. It's going to be live wire in the blue for Bristol, going against Nat Out of Hell in the white for the Roller Billies. So as we said, 2-on-2 in the pack. What can we do here? So live wire splits up those Roller Billy pair and collects lead for Bristol. As we see Nat Out of Hell trying to work with their team. Great shirt whip there to stay inbounds. But live wire is just picking apart through these blockers.
Because the Bristol blockers, because it's Insane Bolt and Divine Wrath, kept them apart.
Look at this. So live wire coming through again.
And you can just see the Bristol blockers lined up next to the people that they're going to bother.
Yes. I feel like I'm slightly watching football. It's like man-to-man marking. They've not gone
Indeed.
zonal here, people. They've gone man-to-man. And they are working incredibly well at it. I mean, rollerblades are even having to work for their track position as blockers, let alone anything else. Oh, live wire. That was slinky. That was slinky. Look at that.
But Cambridge with that wall up front, effective and able to hold back live wire and force that jam to come to an end. But not until 18 points have been put on the clock.
It didn't feel like Cambridge had given up that many points in that jam, but
no,
it did. It did. The scoreboard don't lie.
Yeah, I agree with you. It felt like actually that there was a lot fewer passes, and it was really good to see Cambridge coming together in that way, especially at the end, forcing the call off.
Yeah. So we have Frenchie versus Tilly Latimer now. We have most of the blockers back out of the box by the looks of things. Oh, heavy fall to the inside with both jammers who have to take each other back. Both engaged now, really looking for some opportunity, and it is Tilly Latimer who sort of ducks through that Roller Billies defence. But now we see Frenchie as we see the offence arrive.
Yeah, that was Smash Hits doing a fantastic job breaking out Bristol, who'd taken a traditional wall structure, which does leave you vulnerable to being blown apart.
So Frenchie re-engaging on the pass here. Tilly has gone with the star stash, which is why I was momentarily confused as to where his Tilly had gone. Star pass from Bristol. First one we've seen from them. As Frenchie...
Well, this is only the fourth time that Cambridge have had lead jammer.
Well, that will do it then, won't it? But we see some excellent... Oh, look at that, hopping on by.
That, I believe, is Blackthorn.
Yeah, I was about to say Blackthorn. Somebody call an ambulance, but not for Blackthorn.
So Cambridge winning that jam, 7 points to 4, taking them to 27. Bristol breaking the 100 now on 102. But yeah, fourth time that Cambridge have picked up lead jammer, but not so long ago since they picked up third. So we are seeing that they are working out how to deal with Bristol.
They are responding. They are indeed. We are going to see Jam Stoker take on Chip this time. So, Chip gets some space on the inside and dodges that last hit just enough to stay inbounds. Picks up, does get lead. Oh, that was great work and a great sacrifice there. That was headers being sacrificed for the sake of Jam Stoker.
And we had a beautiful shot there of the blocker going to Chip and saying, "What do you want?" Going, what kind? Do you want offence? Do you want, how do you want this? You don't normally get to see that.
So did she not order on the app?
No, she didn't order on the app.
Should order on the app, do you know what I mean? But I don't mind a live, improvisation.
But I think, again, it's just that, intelligence of the Bristol blockers, that this is what they do. They actually, you don't always see such great communication between the jammer and the blockers. That's why I picked it out, because I was like, don't get to see that
we like
often.
To see this. So it's Aphrodite going up against Frenchie. Aphrodite on that outside line, doing the work, stays upright, claims lead again.
Aphrodite's speed means that the Cambridge blockers, as soon as they block, she's round the side, and she's gone.
Yeah, just breaking ankles all over the place, quite frankly. They come back in engaging, just double checking the situation. Not in it. Oh no, something's happening. We'd love to tell you what it is, but it's slightly out of the corner. I think it is a penalty.
It does look like a penalty. I'm looking to see if there's a hand signal. I cannot see one.
This is the moment Rollerbillies really needed in the closing stages of this first half. They are throwing everything at Bristol, who are just somehow really resistant to this interference. Oh, and Frenchie has worked hard in that jam.
And again, picking up the speed meant that Sid Vicious couldn't do the block to the side in time.
So here we go, Frenchie just trying to put some more points on the board, trying to bring down that deficit before the half. Even if you just go into the half, far more positive on a few good jams at the end. But guess who's back? Back again, it's Aphrodite for destruction.
And again, the Cambridge wall not able to keep up with Aphrodite. Keep talking about her speed, but it is phenomenal.
It is what is throwing that wall apart.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like, look, they barely got their arms together there, and Aphrodite's been, gone.
Yeah.
See ya, thank you.
Left a receipt.
Yeah. Talk about dash and dine. There we go. Aphrodite in once more. Just absorbs the hit there from Fowler. And again, has a little think about whether they're safe or not, and then says, I'm going to call it from here.
Yeah.
Just going to call it from here.
That was the smart thing to do.
That's that Darbs intelligence we were talking about again.
But both teams picking up points. Cambridge with 8, but Bristol win the jam, picking up 12 points, taking them to 116, and Cambridge on 35. So even in a power jam, Bristol's still winning the jam.
Defense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Defense.
Yeah.
Pesky blockers.
As somebody who loves watching the blockers, I am having the best time watching the pack.
Excellent work out there. And we do love you blockers, honestly. We just get very distracted by apex jumps and things. So, that's all it is. We love you, really.
So we're in an official timeout. And so there's a huddle of refs in the middle. And just a reminder that we have another 2 games on this track today, and we have another 2 games on the other track. So there's 4 more games to go today. And I'm just having a quick look.
So track 1 is all tier 3 today, all tier 3 quarterfinals, and then this afternoon it's MRDA, and it is the fight for promotion.
Yes, it is the Kings of Block and Roll versus Haunted City here after us, and then after them it is the Crash Test Brummies versus Horsemen of the Blockalypse. So Kings of Rock and Roll and Haunted City are fighting for promotion to MRDA Tier 2, and Crash Test Brummies and Horsemen of the Blockalypse are fighting for promotion to MRDA Tier 1.
It's all on the line this afternoon.
Yep, it's all medals. It's all medals. No quarterfinals, no semi-finals, straight into the finals.
But if you are looking for Tier 3, it is all over track 1 today.
Track 1.
Track 1. I'm on track 2.
Yeah. I'm on later. I will be covering Wirral Wave Breakers versus Big Bucks High Rollers, which promises to be a good game. And the game before that, I think a lot of people are very excited to see London Battersea play Durham.
I believe I'm on that one.
So we have some fun games ahead.
You've got a busy weekend. We've got a busy weekend. Make sure you stay hydrated. You've got snacks and you are ready to settle in, because we are almost ready to go again right here with Bristol versus Cambridge. It is going to be Livewire in the blue versus Natad Held in the white. So tight off the line, Livewire looking for any space on the inside. Rollerbillies do a really good job of taking back, but that's an unlucky fall from Feb. Just really ruined the tripod a little bit there, and Livewire goes through.
Yeah, Cambridge is 19. That is Tsunami. Wasn't looking at the jam. I was looking at her other blockers and missed that inside.
Ooh, almost an apex jump from Livewire. I love to talk, but if it's an apex jump, I've got to do. It's what I do. But it was excellently blocked by the blocker, who was like, no, don't let Riggs get excited about an apex jump.
So that's Bristol picking up 1 point in that jam, taking them to 117. Cambridge on 36.
What? have Bristol, and this is more a question for Alex is on fire, have Bristol had more than 3 scoreless jams? This is my question. No, I didn't think so. I thought it was about
just
that.
those 2.
Ooh, they just sneaky points everywhere they go. Anyway, it's Jam Stoker in the white versus Tilly Latimer, and nobody's lead jammer yet, which is kind of phenomenal for this game, frankly. The blockers are settling in. Is that a penalty? I can't tell. No, I think Tilly Latimer's just been returned, but it doesn't matter because lead has gone to the Roller Billies.
5th lead jammer for the Roller Billies and Jam Stoker.
Tilly Latimer does complete the initial in stealth mode, and Jam Stoker says, you know what, I'm not messing around as we go into half time. I'm going to grab me some points and I am going to get the heck out of here. We're going to have time for one more jam duck.
No, we are in intermission.
No, they're really keen though. Look, Roller Billies want another go. They were like, I know they came at us really quickly, but we want to finish strong.
Yep, but no, we are in half-time. So that first half, I know we always say this, the score doesn't feel like it represents the game, but actually I think in a way Bristol's track smarts and the Cambridge Jammer penalties have led to the size of the gap.
Definitely. Well, go and get yourself a cup of tea, coffee, and join us in 14 minutes and a little bit for some more of this wonderful roller derby action.
And welcome back to Fenton Manor, the spiritual home of Five Nations Roller Derby for the 2025 playoffs. We are on game 4. It is Bristol Roller Derby versus the Cambridge Roller Billies. And what did you think of that first half then, Riggs?
Oh, it was really interesting. I think it is really interesting to see Roller Billies challenged like this with a different team who play a slightly different style. I have thoroughly enjoyed, as you have noted, the Bristol blockers and the work that they can do separately and together. I think that has been quite the revelation of the first half.
Aphrodite for Destruction as the highest scoring jammer for Bristol, picking up 40 points, 6.6 points per jam. Alexis on Fire, our fantastic producer, giving me all the stats. And then we have next Livewire, who's also been standing out as a jammer. We're just waiting for the stats on Cambridge.
There is some quick maths being done right now.
Yes, but you know it's been Bristol jammers, it's been Bristol blocking, which has been exceptional, but also their track management. You know, letting Cambridge be pushed out the front and then go out of play. No, and also just you know, Cambridge had a couple of really important penalties, jammer penalties, that let Bristol run away with that lead initially.
Yeah, but it really was that strong start that has really dug themselves a hole in the first 10 minutes and have been frantically trying to climb out of it since then.
Don't forget to talk to us in Discord. We are watching track 2, so we can shout out anything that you've noticed at home.
But as you can see, back on track, we are ready. I hope you are too. It is going to be number 462 Chip in the blue for Bristol jamming here against number 36 Frenchie in the white for the Roller Billies. A full complement of blockers, I believe, yes, as we get ready for this second half.
Yes, Frenchie picking up 17 points in that first half. So although it's really split between 2 jammers, between them and Jam Stoker, who've been picking up the points. And it is Bristol who have picked up lead 73% of the time in the first half.
I mean, that really does explain the score, doesn't it? That
Absolutely.
right there. There is ever a stat that underlines the first half. That is it. Oh, we have look at the focus. Look at the focus here. And yes, we will announce anything the way somebody uses a tablet, but that is teamwork and concentration there.
I'm just hoping that the photographers are there for the best faces.
Oh, absolutely. There have been a series of faces there.
A new phrase I learnt recently was, your face is rather loud.
Oh, that's a very good one. And
yes.
having had experience of being called out on Teams meetings for my facial expression, I suspect that may apply to me. I definitely have a face for radio, folks. That is for sure. Now, whatever has happened with that tablet, it has not worked.
They've gone back to the officials by the scoreboard, so we are having some kind of technical issue.
They should ring me. First line technical. Hello, this is Five Nations technical support. Have you tried turning it on and back on again? Yes, that would be great.
I mean, when you think about the aspects that at 5 o'clock last night, this place was empty.
Yeah.
And we have to set up all of that, technical equipment so that we can run this in 3 hours.
We did also have to fight 4 badminters. There were scenes here in Stoke last night. I'm not going to lie to you people. The things we do for you, but we kicked the badminton people out, and we have put together quite an event. So you should get down here.
Yeah.
Don't take our word for it. Come to Stoke. It's only raining a little bit.
And there are tickets available if you want to come in later today or tomorrow.
Do you know what you could do that would be really awesome is you could go along to the Five Nations website and you can hit a QR code and you can volunteer to make 2026 the best Five Nations that has ever happened. Have you ever sat at home and moaned about the stuff that happens or doesn't happen at Five Nations? Well, now's your chance to get involved and be the change you want to see in the roller derby world. I do also have one other sneaky little thing. Are you a small business owner? Are you somebody who works from home? Would you like to run the Five Nations shop? If you would, please get in touch with some of the Five Nations leadership, such as Sticks or Vouch,
just
for example.
email hello
in.
at Five Nations.
We'll talk more about that later, because apparently we are ready. They didn't even hang around for us. They've got straight back on with it, and it is a power jam for the roller billies here, as we see Chip get a forearm and go to the box. So it is all on Frenchie, who has this huge amount of power in those jamming legs. I have seen Frenchie pirouette their way throughout these playoffs over the years. Really experienced, very steady jammer, you see, trying to stay to the inside in the middle there, stay in the safe zone, but Cambridge were going for offence, but of the encouragement kind. We will just stand here and shout encouraging things at you before they come and got involved there. What a penalty kill.
Yes, what a dream start to the half for Cambridge.
But that dream is they're slowly waking up for it, as we see that Bristol defence locked down. Look, there's just 2 of them there.
Yeah. And it was a great penalty kill by Bristol. Frenchie, just hit out and recycled or stuck behind a wall that whole 30 seconds.
And Frenchie is not an easy jammer to contain, I'll be honest with you. This is better, we're seeing up front here.
And it's Bristol again, pushing Cambridge out the front, pushing them out of play, but this time Cambridge not blocking to the line. If I could just go and push their blockers like an extra 30 centimetres, it'd be a game changer.
Yeah, so...
also, I might die.
Do we have... Is Frenchie lead? I don't... No, nobody's being pointed at, are they? So
no,
we are going to have our first 2 minute. Frenchie's still on the initial,
but had gone to the box, so is no longer.
The Bristol jammer went to the box, which is why it confused me for a moment. So if Frenchie gets out, Frenchie can get lead and stop this hemorrhaging of points. But that was not to be. That were a tough jam.
That was a full 2
Frenchie.
Minutes. Yeah,
it's our first full 2 minute jam of the game as well.
I believe so. And we're looking at 8 points for Bristol in that. Bristol have picked up 2 of the top 3 highest scoring jams so far this game. But the third is only 12, so we're not seeing. So there's Cambridge picked up 12, Bristol 16 and 18. We haven't seen into the 20s or 30s, which does show how Cambridge are being effective. To stop that.
Yeah, they're not. In fact, apart from that one rampage that Chip went on, it's not. They've done reasonably well at containing the multi-passes. But that being said, Aphrodite for Destruction is back on track. Got lead within a couple of seconds and is now out to try and prove us wrong about how high scoring. But look at that. The smarts from Aphrodite have been phenomenal. That jammer awareness is superb.
Like I said, I normally go for blockers, but I'm falling a little bit in love with Aphrodite for Destruction.
Well, maybe we'll swap in this game. I'll just be swooning over blockers and you'll be all like, oh, look at that one with the star on their head.
I'm not sure the space-time continuum can cope with that.
I don't know if it would.
No.
It? Don't you worry, Roller Derby World. We will stay consistent here. I will continue to ooh and ah anything Nat Out of Hell or Livewire do, because I am loving Livewire. I mean, but Fowler, look, it's a one-on-one battle up front. But Fowler can't use the Velcro to keep hold of Livewire.
But runs back and continues to help. So that was a very quick switch.
But then does pick up a penalty. It's all happening for Fowler right now. There's action back. Oh, we got a star pass. That was beautifully done. A little reach around there. Can they contain Bristol?
And Bristol, as we've seen, are person-on-person marking the Cambridge blockers.
I do think somebody needs to pop down to the Roller Billies and let them know how diddy Livewire is, right? And you're going to need to shut the cat flap, right? You've left the cat flap open and Livewire is getting through. So it was 8 unanswered points put up by Bristol in that jam, takes them to 133. Cambridge have not scored in this half, keeping them at 40. It is Tilly Latimer versus Frenchie. Fowler is in the box, so it is a pack advantage for Bristol, which I'm sure they will enjoy. Oh, Frenchie going full matrix on us there.
I think, interestingly, we haven't seen Jam Stoker out on the line for the Roller Billies in the second half yet.
No, did a lot of work in the first half, so maybe just resting a moment. Maybe haven't finished their orange. Tilly Latimer out collecting a lead. I think we only denied lead once or twice in that first jam, but Cambridge straight away with the star pass, so they are learning to try and hemorrhage the bleeding. Look at Tilly Latimer though, good awareness. They know they've got the room to run it, and they do. Cambridge have one in the box, so I'm not sure why Bristol are running this, if I'm honest with you, but just because they want to.
Yeah, it's headers now jamming for Cambridge after that star pass.
Well spotted, Duke. Tilly says, I'm not skating all the way back down that straight. I'll just call it here, thank you very much.
Because there was also the danger that Cambridge were going to score. Because headers were so close behind, there was nothing to be gained by trying to extend that out.
And there is nothing that I enjoy more than a team with shed loads of points protecting those points differentials. I really do enjoy that. The smarts you get to see from these guys when they manage the game is beautiful. Oh, look, it's like Jam Stoker knew you were talking about them, and they have, poof, appeared. Yeah. Going up against Chip for Bristol. One on the inside, one on the outside. Straight both back into the deep waters of the middle, and it is beautiful work there by Jam Stoker, who picks up lead on their first outing. Whole lot of trouble coming out of that box, hot. But here we go, look at the instruction coming in from Jam Stoker. Go in, we've got the choo-choo train up the inside. Bristol done well to avoid it, but what moves from Jam Stoker?
See, we said they were having an orange, having a rest, and this is what you get.
That one beautiful, a pivot on the outside of the line.
Absolutely gorgeous. Alexis on fire, our producer, pointed out that Wiltshire have had most success on making their pivots down. Not Wiltshire, Cambridge.
Cambridge, I was going to say Wiltshire were the ones with that really exciting moment that we had in that first game. I'm confused.
Apologies for that. They were both wearing white.
Both games have been thrilling, so yeah. I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry. I was momentarily confused. I'll tell you who's not confused, right? That is Aphrodite for Destruction, because this will surprise you, but Aphrodite is lead.
I fear now I'm in an Anchorman world where I will read anything somebody gives me.
That is our job, though. We do not question. We just read things on Post-it notes. If you ever want to mess with us, just hand us a Post-it note. We will probably just read it out loud. Anyway, earlier I was saying, if you're a small business person or a part-time business person, he's writing rude things on Post-it notes. Now I'm just letting you know. I love lamps. See, this is what happens. You pass me a Post-it note, I'm going to read it. Right, sensible. You work at home. You've got time on your hands, you want to do something, you want to get involved with the Five Nations shop, get in touch with us. Hello at Five Nations, or go on the website, or speak to Sticks or Balks if you're here this weekend.
Or message us.
Don't message me. I'm far more interested in Livewire versus Frenchie right here. And look at Livewire. Livewire is doing the business this afternoon. Bristol apparently do not like Tier 2. I just don't think they do.
But also, again, Divine Wrath with a beautiful hit to the inside and a recycle.
Yeah. Frenchie's trying to go stealth. It's not having the most work right now, but the pivot is back.
Oh, tried to stay on one skate on the outside, couldn't, and hit all the way back.
Livewire is just treating Cambridge blockers like they're slalom posts, frankly. This is like ski Sunday out there.
And actually gets a big shove from their own blocker, which causes that fall.
Imagine that, the other blockers can't get you, but your own lot are taking you out. Divine Ross just opened up the inside there, just beautifully.
I have been watching them with, just in terms of blocker goals.
Oof.
Yeah.
He's good at it.
They played for Team Wales in the World Cup, and you can just see how that summer of extra practice has really brought them here.
I knew there was something stirring in my Welsh soul there, but yes, patriotism live and well. And what a Welsh wonder. So it's going to be Tilly Latimer versus Jam Stoker. We're seeing a slight variation in the matchups as we go into the second half, which is kind of fun. And look at the variation. We're just swinging from side to side, inside, outside. Which one works? This is some great work from Roller Billies.
And Cambridge blocked to the line. That was FEB, blocked to the line, and it worked.
Wow. Shut them jammers down. But it is, and it has resulted in lead for Jam Stoker, who is having a cracking second half here. Here we go. Bristol are all set up. Tsunami is in, offering the offense. But first is Jam Stoker's thing. Roller Billies are going to need some new jerseys after these jammers have finished with them. Look at this work by the Roller Billies, just containing Tilly Latimer. Are you all right over there, Dork? Are you having a moment? That was gorgeous, wasn't it? Oh, Jam Stoker is on fire.
And so Jam Stoker has had 66% lead jammer percentage this half, so 2 out of 3. And you bear in mind that the Roller Billies have had lead jammer maybe like 7-8 times.
It was like 31% in the first half, wasn't it? So that Jam Stoker, whatever Jam Stoker had at half time, right?
Can I have some of that, please?
Get in touch with them on Instagram. You can become an influencer. I tell you. I'll have some of that. So it's going to be Chip, who did our biggest scoring jam of the game, 18 points, up against Nat Out of Hell.
So that ties for highest scoring jam of the game.
Well, you don't seem to have any blockers out there, Doc.
That's because one each are in the penalty box, and we also have now Bristol's jammer in the penalty box.
Oh, Chip, it's another forearm. Forearms have been the penalty of the day. What are you jammers doing? Get your paper plates out.
They like a coach.
I'm telling you, you're all going back to training and you're all skating with paper plates under your arms for the rest of the time. This is what's going to happen. So Nat Out of Hell has picked up lead, which I feel will be a nice change of events for Nat Out of Hell, who've had a tough time with things out there. So coming in now, look at the offense, but look how Bristol resist it.
And also the offense came in at the wrong time and immediately split up, so they couldn't create the lane that they were looking for.
Oh, that Divine Rock, he's gone all the way back down there. Oh, it's a penalty. We're going to have the old jammer switcheroo. You take a seat, you have a go out there, because we need one. We need a jammer.
So this will be a full 2-minute jam, a minute or so left to go.
Treat yourselves, this is the second one of the game. Here we go. Let's see, this is pack management is the first choice from Bristol, allowing Chip to just push away up top as Roller Billies lose a blocker as well. And now we are rejoined by Nat Out of Hell, who is unceremoniously dumped off your screen.
Just looking, because that is 2 blockers from the Roller Billies in the penalty box. So Bristol with the significant pack advantage.
Made life real easy for Chip on that pass there. So Bristol picking up 4 points already. Nat Out of Hell will have points in the pocket, of course. Oof, just got that re-entry ever so slightly wrong. But Bristol ready and waiting for Nat Out of Hell. Look at that.
But also look at this Bristol wall of the 2. But not the Bristol, the Cambridge wall of the 2, but the jam comes to an end. But what has that done for the score? Because you think with a 2-minute jam, even though both jammers had a penalty, you'd expect to see multiple scoring passes from both teams, and we didn't, which shows how the blocking is starting to really come together. And we are in a team timeout, and I'm just seeing can't see who called it, but Bristol are talking to each other. But I'd imagine both teams are talking to each other
well,
right
they
now.
probably should talk to each other.
Yeah.
Bristol are like, listen, we're only 100 ahead. What can we do?
So the main thing to note at this stage is that Cambridge have got more of the penalties, so they are at 25 and Bristol are at 17. But Fowler is on 6 penalties.
Fowler's possibly going to be very well named.
Yes. So with 17 minutes on the clock, you're like, how many more jams is Fowler actually going to go out on, or are they going to be benched?
Is this going to be one of those your name determines your fate situations? That's what I have to ask myself. And Fowler is an engine of that Roller Billies lineup, quite frankly.
Exactly.
If you've been here with us for any of the other playoffs, you will have seen Fowler doing stupendous blocking before, but a bit in the naughty books today.
Yeah, and Smash Hits was on 3 very quickly, but has come down, is now on 4 penalties. And it's Blackthorn in Bristol who's on 4. So actually, nobody else at real risk.
And they are the players who are out on track the most.
Yes.
So that does track. That does track indeed. So we're all getting ourselves realigned after everybody's had a little huddle. The teams have had a huddle. The referees have had a huddle. Big thanks to all our officials, our volunteers, our non-skating officials, all the people working the front desk, even the nice ladies in reception who shouted us about our parking. All of those people, they're all wonderful, and we appreciate the hospitality that Stoke shows us every single year.
I mean, it's not just the spiritual home, it's the real home of Five Nations Roller Derby.
It is.
And just a reminder that the game that will be following this is going to be MRDA, and it's the promotion fight for Tier 2. And we are going to have the Kings of Block and Roll versus Haunted City. It did say 2 p.m. I think we're probably on track for actually around that. Although we've been running late, there is a buffer in the middle of the day, so I think that it means we don't get to sit around and hang around till the next game, but it does mean that we should be starting close to time for Game 2. I've now jinxed it. I've realised that now. And then following that, it is the Crash Test Brummies versus Horsemen of the Apocalypse for the MRDA Tier 1 promotion. So these teams, one of them will have won their tier and the other will have come bottom in their tier, and they face each other to stay in the tier.
Oh, I see.
So there is a demotion, and yes, so thank you, Alexis on Fire. Kings are fighting to stay and Haunted City are fighting to go up. Haunted City being the surprise team from what I can gather this year, so I'm excited to see them play this afternoon. Yeah. And it's Bristol who called the team timeout. I am so glad Alexis and Fire is,
what have they got? I mean, that's like about 6 team timeouts they've had altogether once you add them up at this point.
Yeah. And it's worth saying Alexis on Fire plays at MRDA, so knows this because it's his tier.
Wow. It's almost like somebody put together a team of individuals who know what they're doing. Shout out to the tournament head announcer. Oh wait, that's me.
And done an incredible job. I mean, bringing together a team of 20 announcers
we are
to cover
quite lucky.
2 days.
We are very lucky here in the UK. You have some of the most fabulous voices joining you this weekend.
And tell us what you think about what we're saying, and go onto the community Discord, search Discord, look on our Five Nations Facebook, Instagram. There are many ways to find us, and tell us what you think about this game.
Thanks to whoever pointed out that we were saying paella wrong. I now have the Rihanna song in my head, but paella, Ella. Okay. That's what I've got in my head now, but we are here for feedback.
Yes,
we
at the moment, and this will not surprise you at all, the feedback in the chat is mainly around Battered Sausage's trousers.
Oh, God. See, Battered Sausage is a double agent, folks. That is one of our best UK announcers who keeps you lively, but is currently over there doing very official things for Bristol in sparkly trousers, which, I mean, it's part of the reason we invite Battered Sausage, honestly, is for the costumes.
I once worked a science fiction themed tournament where Battered Sausage turned up as Rocket Raccoon.
I mean,
and really?
Yeah. Oh no, Battered Sausage commits. There is, there's no half-arse in it with old Battered Sausage. We do love our announcers. We have all sorts of wonderful personalities here to talk you through the games this weekend. don't forget to show them some love. And come and spend your money in the Vendors Village if you are coming on down.
And if you should this game finish close to time,
not a chance.
Then you can switch over. If you want more roller derbies straight away, 1:30 it's going to be London Battersea versus Durham on track 1 at around 1:30, because again they're also running a little bit late.
I really hope they are running late, because I'm going to go straight from here to there. So everybody pray for me.
And looks like we are rearranging ourselves.
They heard us. They heard us. They know I have other places to be. I have to be at the other end of the balcony. It's very far away. Right, the action resumes. It's 57 to Cambridge. It's 157 to Bristol. 100-point difference, as Bristol have been dominating this. And Aphrodite, let's have a look. It was, in fact, Aphrodite who picked up a penalty. It was a track cut. So this is a power jam to Frenchie, who is waving their arms in the air like they just don't care, but we do know they do.
And again, Bristol speeding up the pack. We saw this in, I think, jam 1 or 2, and we haven't seen it since.
Yeah, a whole lot of trouble in there. Number 4 for the rollerblades, trying to slow that roll down as everybody sets themselves into position. But honestly, I would expect more urgency from Cambridge. As we have this power jam, I would have expected them to fully attack and try and make the most of this. But they are being very sensible.
So Aphrodite in the penalty box for a full minute. It's 2 penalties.
Oh.
It is a cut and an illegal procedure.
Oh no.
So that is going to be a big opportunity for the roller billies, but at the same time also the reason for the official timeout, I don't know for sure, but the thing that changed is that Fowler from the roller billies has fouled out.
That there is always paperwork with a foul out, so that will explain our team timeout turning into a little moment longer. Well spotted, Dork. Aphrodite is back out on track now, re-engaging with the pack, looking to run through. I swear, Aphrodite just runs, doesn't skate, just runs through.
So with a minute penalty, Cambridge were able to put on 2 scoring passes. But I think everybody would be hoping for 3 or 4 if you've got a whole minute.
Yeah, this Bristol defence is fantastic. Frenchie doing a great little step over there to get on out. Obviously, Cambridge are lead and they are in control of this jam. They've got 12 points on the board now.
Well, fab jam from Cambridge.
Oh, and that takes them to 69. Nice. 157 to Bristol, and yes, we are grown-ups, I promise.
So 14 minutes and change left in this game. So we should... I was going to say, and we should be finished. No, I will not be making any promises about what time we'll be finishing this game and keeping it on track. And we're underway again. So it is Live Wire up against Jam Stoker on the jam line. Jam Stoker who gets out for lead, but Live Wire out for lead, but Jam Stoker very quickly behind.
Absolutely. So we're and getting over smash hits is not easy. That were lovely. 4 points picked up by Bristol. They bagged those and got off the track. They've held Cambridge to 69, nice, and they are but taken themselves to 161.
So it's Tilly Latimer on the jam line against Nat Out of Hell.
And we do have an empty penalty box, so all the blockers are on track and they are ready to lay things down.
And it's Nat Out of Hell being held back, but Tilly Latimer with a big recycle back to the jam line, having to push through the pack up front. And as we've seen, it's Tilly Latimer in the pack having picked up lead. It's Nat Out of Hell who is in the pack having the trouble.
We see rollerblades reset themselves and they are able to catch and push out Tilly Latimer on the middle of turn 2. Tilly just having a little moment as the Roller Billies do that little creep where they soak up the space from you. Nat out of hell trying to drive Bristol right in.
And this is the first time we've seen that tight pack in this whole game. It's been such a dynamic blocking game. To actually see that little huddle, it's the first time we've really seen that.
It is. You can definitely see the impact of coming out and playing hard and strong in that first half and how it's kind of settling things down. But this is great work. Look, Nat out of hell doing so well, but it's Blackthorn just there to poke in the side of Nat out of hell. As we see Tilly sneak on through the inside there. And it is a big reset for Nat out of hell, who has battled incredibly hard in this jam.
And this is much more traditional Wolves and 3 and 3 that we are used to seeing. And it's taken 45 minutes in this game before we've gone to that.
Yeah. So Tilly Latimer has picked up a cut track, so it is a power jam, and mercifully Roller Billies are going to let somebody else take that on, as Nat out of hell has just worked their socks off, quite frankly.
But it was FEB picking up that direction penalty.
Oh, we got somebody. Oh, Blackthorn is creeping up there.
So Blackthorn now sitting on 5 penalties, but with 10 minutes to
You
go.
got one every 5 minutes. You're all right, I reckon.
Yeah.
You're
Not
all right.
quite in the danger zone.
Just trying not to sing down the microphone at you all, right? Quite frankly, right now.
As I said it, I regretted my choice of words.
You know, as a Top Gun fan.
Oh, as children of the 80s.
Yeah, I know.
So we are in an official review.
And we get a glorious glimpse of battered sausage outfit there.
Those trousers are sparkles for days.
Sparkly trousers are the in thing this Saturday. Tune in tomorrow to find out what the announcers will be wearing on Sparkle Sunday, as is often referred to. It has no theme this year. I've let them go wild, frankly. I'm sure you might even see a onesie or two. As long as somebody doesn't turn up in their dressing gown. I draw the line at dressing gowns.
I have a dress that most resembles an ice cream cone.
I thought you said you were. I'm coming in my hotel dressing gown.
This is Stoke. Our hotels don't have dressing gowns.
If they don't trust you not to steal the slippers. Look at that. I love it when they all have a nice chat with each other. It's so lovely. It's what we love about roller derby. We are friends until the whistle.
So I am just looking for information on that official review. First official review of this game. And so we have a way of communicating on social media. So I'm looking to our house announcers, who are currently typing in. So with bated breath, I'm looking for the one, then we can update you with more information as we have it. But this has been a really fun game to watch, especially if you are a student of strategy. I would recommend watching this game because you can just see such distinctly different strategies and how they've worked and how they've changed and adapted.
Yeah. I think it'll have been a great learning lesson for the Roller Billies, if I'm honest.
Yeah. But you have to remember, this time last year they were going for promotion into Tier 2, and to have already made it to playoffs in their first year, as we know...
You've absolutely established yourself in the tier at that point, haven't you?
Called doing a Wrexham.
We do like to say that, don't we? We do like to say that, but as we always say, as lovers of sports cliches, you either win or you learn. You either win or you learn. There's a lot of learning happening. Oh, look, Bristol on 169 points. Nice.
So just a reminder that it is going to be the Kings of Block and Roll versus Haunted City in the game after this one.
Just in case you didn't know, Haunted City are York. Just in case you were like, where are they from? Because I may have wondered that myself. I'll tell you who knows exactly where they are. It is number 462. That is Chip for Bristol on the jam line, ready to go up against number 36, Frenchie for the Roller Billies. We have nobody in. Oh, we have one in the penalty box. And Frenchie drives down the outside with some solid power there. Picks up lead for the Roller Billies.
So in case you aren't on our community Discord, and if not, why not? Bristol were looking to have the cut penalty on their jammer rescinded. The penalty was rescinded. So this was the... So this would, yeah.
I'd celebrate that like a win all day long, I would. So Frenchie in control of this jam, 4 points already. Chip coming round now.
And more joy on the Discord for Sparkly Trousers this time. Painbow, over the Painbow, who is the announcer who told us all this information, with those lovely black sparkly trousers.
Told you, it's all about Sparkly Trousers Saturday, that's what it is.
Yeah. So that's Hull on the Discord, who is showing some love.
Yes. If you've got sparkly trousers at home, take a picture, send it in. We want to see your sparkly trousers. If you forgot to put trousers on today, we do not want to see that photo.
So if you remember, 10 minutes ago, there was 100 points between the teams. That has now narrowed to 91. So Cambridge are, starting that creep back. It is 10 minutes to go, but they're understanding how to.
And they are holding back Aphrodite for destruction right now. This is, obviously we all knew as soon as I said it was going to happen, but look who's right behind. It's Jam Stoker.
And also it took nearly 20 seconds, which is not something we have seen yet in this game.
Imagine thinking 20 seconds is slow for a jammer. That's brilliant, isn't it? Aphrodite, you've set yourselves quite the bar there. Honestly, Bristol love that little slip road back to their bench. They're like, I'll get onto that straight away, and if you hit me off, I'm just going to go and sit down.
It's conserving energy because it's going to be a long weekend. As we said, the winner of this game is going to go into the Tier 2 final, which is at Sunday at 2 p.m, so they have to do it all again tomorrow.
It's like Wiltshire, I believe they are up against, aren't they, who beat Rebellion earlier.
That was a game. If you are watching this today on the stream, after this game, rewind, and that was a game.
So it is Live Wire versus Nat Out of Hell, and Nat Out of Hell is back in the cave, unfortunately, as Live Wire is out and running again.
And it's Divine Wrath who's just done this shift, as if not doing the block, getting the most out of the hit out by doing the big recycle. It's such an important role because it soaks up seconds.
I have to say, shout out to the Roller Billies, did a really good job of catching Live Wire there. Couldn't contain, but could catch. And that's as good a start as any. But I love watching Live Wire pick their path through. Oh, we're all having a little lie down on a cuddle together. Awkward. Oh, big recycle here.
I'm pointing out, I'm the one. They might not be the one.
Live Wire, just making sure, always best to be safe. It is a cut track pickup by Nat Out of Hell. So Live Wire is now on a power jam, which I suspect will start to see Bristol flirting. Oh, landed it though. Will reset. Did land inbounds, but then slowly went outbound. So those pockets will have been grabbed, but has to go back and do it all again. Yeah, that 200-point mark is getting flirted with right here. Until Live Wire is out to equal Chip's best score, which was 18 from the earlier on in the game.
We've had that twice.
But twice, who else did it?
Now you're asking.
Now I'm asking, no. We'll check on that. Maybe you know at home and you can write it on the Discord for us. But look at Live Wire, 20 points on the board for Live Wire.
That is the official highest scoring jam of the game.
Is it the highest scoring jam of the day? That's the question we've got to ask ourselves. Oh, a little bit of shovey at the end there. Love a bit of that. As a football fan, we have a word for it, S-housery. But I am here for it.
So 20 points for Bristol in that jam takes them to 192. Cambridge sitting on 81. So again, I jinxed it just as soon as I said they're closing the gap.
Yeah. Next thing we're going to do is pop into A&E and say it's quiet. We're going to ruin everybody's weekend.
And it's a timeout that's been called by Bristol, official review that has been called by Bristol.
Bristol have absolutely no respect for our schedule or timings today, clearly.
But if there's been an error that they wish to discuss...
I understand this, but you have lots of points in the bank.
So if you are enjoying watching Bristol Roller Derby, it is worth knowing that they are hosting the first ever WFTDA Open Division game in the UK, and that's on October the 5th. So Bristol Roller Derby All-Stars will be playing Wiltshire Open to All. So that is that new Open Division which allows anybody to play, and it will be the first game in the UK that's being held.
That is very exciting.
Yes. And Bristol, it is always worth going to a game hosted at Bristol. When I say they have the nicest samosas I've ever eaten. I've eaten a lot of samosas, and I will drive to Bristol for those samosas. So if you're in the audience, get to watch great roller derby, be part of history, and have samosas.
We've worked together for a lot, and somehow I just did not expect that to be the thing that you rate Bristol for. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it, folks. Samosas, eh? Who knew? Who knew? Sneaky Bristol. That's the place to get them.
So one of the things we did in the run-up to playoffs was we asked some of the teams about how they were preparing for playoffs. And I think what Bristol wrote was that they had been focusing on eliminating faff. We love to faff about on track, off track, between jams, after the game. We love to faff. We must not faff. You can absolutely see that in this game today.
That paid off in the first 10 minutes, didn't it, Bristol?
Oh, but you can see it.
That absolutely did. My favourite statistic from the Roller Billies was that they have a combined age of 657. So there's an awful lot of experience on that team right there.
But I think the official review has concluded and we are getting underway. Well, the skaters are on track and the refs seem... Yep, that's the let's get started again whistle.
Right, well, both of the jammers are in the box.
And I think that's what the official review was about.
How do we start again?
So what will happen is the jammer that was in the box first will get released, then they both get released at the same time.
I don't think you should give Livewire a running start. I just look at that. I was just cleared with a little hop straight into lead. Oh, we see the Bristol pivot go into the box. Not that they've used the pivot very much, but Livewire now with no safety net, doesn't need it. Oh, what a hit! Who was that? Oh, are they getting a penalty for it? They are.
So Livewire are able to just get up and skate on like it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think it was a low block. It was a trailing leg, to be honest. Tsunami unable to stop the progress of Livewire, just a little bump. Oh, we were all holding hands then. As we see that work happening on the inside of turn 2. Livewire does not scrub an ounce of speed off as approaching the pack. It is all about that juke, that deception. It's a little bit of a messy body shimmer going on there.
So I have an update on what just happened. There was no official review. So the referees had already decided to issue a cut, which is what Bristol had wanted. So sometimes you'll see that the bench will go in and say, I want official review, and the refs will go, don't do that, because we're about to do the thing that we want to do.
We've already done it.
We've already done it.
So Bristol have taken themselves over the 200 points now. They are sitting on 206 after picking up 14 points in that jam. Cambridge held scoreless at 81 points here. A whole lot of trouble picking up a penalty as well. So it will be a pack advantage for Bristol, who absolutely know what to do with that. So it's Frenchie up against Tilly Latimer, who gets a lovely shove from the pivot, and away they go. Frenchie's gone full stealth mode.
And it's Tilly Latimer out as lead, now scoring points. And just that quick recycle out to the back. But Tilly Latimer pushing out front, picking up 4 points. Completing that scoring pass.
the roller Billies. I think if there was another half, if there were 3 halves, oh, Frenchie, that were beautiful.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh, no, both your feet were out, were they?
Oh, however, so were Bristol's.
That's all right. That's what I just realised. I was all like, your feet were out, but so were their feet, so that's all right. What a game. I honestly, and Doc made the point earlier that we always say this, that the score doesn't reflect the game we've seen. But I think the roller Billies can be incredibly proud of how they've responded throughout this game. And I think there's some work to do, but I don't think it's a huge job.
No, and this is what we were talking about, is tweaks.
Yeah.
And I think it is that focus in the pack.
Yeah.
I think that's been the thing I'd really want them to go and practice over the winter months.
They've got the bones, haven't they? They absolutely have the bones. Talking about who's got what, right now we've got Aphrodite for Destruction, who just got recycled, which must have felt outrageous for Aphrodite, quite frankly. And up front, Jam Stoker, who has had a great second half, but is in that melee while Aphrodite just hops on round to pick up lead for Bristol. We see Cambridge Roller Billies losing a blocker to the box as well. And my God, Jam Stoker is working hard. Brilliant moment, great vision to see that space open up, see the back of a white shirt and know it was safe to go for it. Oh, look at that. That is that? Oh.
So that's Aphrodite for Destruction now on 6 penalties. However, 2 minutes left in the game and 130 points in the lead.
You'll probably cope with a Jammer penalty at this point, but
yeah.
No, Jam Stoker not giving anything up. We're seeing a back block being awarded to somebody. Oh, that was Lex Lethal picking up a back block there for Bristol. Jam Stoker hoping for the offence. The train comes in. Ooh, and nearly a catch to the ankles, but does well.
But that's the second time when Aphrodite has picked up a penalty and an illegal procedure. So it may be how they're exiting the track.
Must be.
Yeah.
Must be.
And so it's actually only been 4 incidences, but it's led to 6 penalties.
Yeah.
And a whole minute for the roller Billies to put some pride on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. They really want to smash that 100-point mark, I would imagine. Great work again by Jam Stoker. Really excellent read of the pack. One of my favourite things. So I know we always joke about, watching the jammers and the things they do, but it is fantastic to see a jammer pick a line from across the track and watch them pick their way through the pack. It's one of the things I really enjoy, that instant analysis of what's the most efficient path through the pack. So as we come towards the last minute of this game, it is 97 on the board for Cambridge, who picked up 60 unanswered points.
They've had 2
jam.
of the 5 highest scoring jams in this game, which says a lot about how they have been able to change things up and take advantage when penalties happen.
It's been fantastic to see. I am secretly a bit of a Cambridge Roller Billies fan. I live in that part of the world and I pay an awful lot of money for parking when I get to go and see them, and I am very proud to see the performance they've put out here. But Bristol have been dominating. Yeah, they have been almost at points flawless. There have been very few issues.
I think that's to a large extent because they haven't been as challenged as maybe they would be if they get into Tier 1.
They're not getting rocked quite as much by Cambridge.
And that's a prime example. Jammer approaching the pack. Unfortunately, the roller Billies blockers were looking the other way.
I think you could have got 2 lorries and Jean-Claude Van Damme doing the splits in between those 2 lorries up that inside line there, Doc. I'm just going to put it out there. Right.
It was 90% of the track width.
It was, yeah.
But you have to remember, 12 months ago, these 2 teams were separated by a tier in between each other. Yeah. So how far the roller Billies have come in just 12 months is phenomenal.
Oh, honestly, fantastic work. And to keep building on that, like you said, it is a bit of a Wrexham story, but maybe just like Wrexham, the championship is where they are for this year. Yeah. Lessons to be learnt. Chip been phenomenal. Chip is like, listen, I got 18 points earlier and now I know Livewire went out and got 20, so I want that back, frankly. Frenchie, what an effort.
Yes, Frenchie has done a shift, as they like to say. But Chip, as you say, completed 4 scoring passes. Just seeing if sneaked the 5th. Looking at ref's hands, icy fingers.
We've got 18, equaled. Oh, equaled it. Livewire takes the glory as top scoring jammer in terms of the highest scoring individual jam.
But that is the final whistle. So with the unofficial score stands at 231 to Bristol, 297 to Cambridge. That's now confirmed. So Bristol go into the Tier 2 final against Wiltshire at 2 p.m. 2 teams who know each other and play each other almost weekly. That's going to be fascinating.
The Southwest just evicted the Southeast.
And
then happened.
And then Cambridge are going to go and play Rebellion, who I'm sure a team they know very well as well.
It is. They have regularly met each other. So all sorts of action happening tomorrow. But don't forget, this afternoon, what you need to stay on this track for is MRDA, and there are stakes. Not literal ones.
No, there are medals and promotions.
And staying where you are and all sorts of things available in this next afternoon. Don't forget, over on at track 1, we have all of the quarterfinals from the Tier 3. So you can catch London Battersea Power up against somebody else. 2 seconds, people. I do know.
Durham, Battersea.
That's the one.
Yeah. So we're due to have the Haunted City versus Kings of Block and Roll on here at 2 p.m. according to the... It's probably going to be a few minutes late because we've got to let teams warm up and got to swap all the equipment and people out between the games, but it won't be much longer than 2 p.m.
Tell you what you could do, keep an eye on the community Discord, right, and you'll know exactly when everything's back up and running again.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us here for this fabulous game between Bristol and Cambridge. I've been Riggs.
I've been Dork Mistress, and our producer is Alexis on Fire.
Take care.